including a heavy 777. Hope you guys are ready to catch that one with us. Got some weather on the East Coast again today. Realized when I got up here that I totally left everything in my other bag. So we're going to the Dayton Air Show in the morning. And so what I ended up doing was kind of packing everything up and we're taking to the air show tomorrow. And started seeing some diversions and went crap and ran up here. So we have a Delta Airlines A220 on the field right now that we diverted in a few minutes ago. We have a 777 inbound. But thank you guys so much for being here tonight. You're going to probably keep it on the short side. So tomorrow means getting up at about 5:30 in the morning and driving down to Dayton to try to get there as early as we can for the gates opening and everything. Should be a pretty good air show down there. I saw the Stingers just showed up. They weren't supposed to be down there. They had originally going to be one of the performers and canceled, but I saw they showed up this evening. A bunch of T-38 showed up. So we'll see what all's going to actually be out there for the Dayton Air Show tomorrow. And also what that surprise might be that has been teased. So kind of give me a second. I'm just trying to get everything situated here. My plan wasn't really to stream tonight. My plan was to get some work done around the house. Since we'll be down in Dayton tomorrow. So guys, give me 1 second here. Just trying to get everything set up. American Eagle CRJ taking off. Normally I do all this and then I go live, but with the 777 coming in, I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss it trying to get everything set up. So I think that will do it. Got to go old school tonight and play live ATC on my phone since my scanner is still in my bag for tomorrow. So it looks like our next inbound flight will be United 435 Heavy. It's a 777-300 out of San Francisco, diverting in from Newark. Behind that, we'll have United Flight 1115. It's an A319 out of Newark. And we'll take a look to see what else is out there. I see an American A321 that's circling over the lake. I see a Delta A321. Got a United 737 MAX that's heading our way as well. That's diverting in. Got a United 757 that's holding a couple of United Heavies. Cathay Pacific Heavy. I don't think we'll see that one, but hey, maybe keep your fingers crossed. You never know, right? We got a decent amount of stuff out there tonight. We also have an E6 Mercury that is circling over the Youngstown area right now. Maybe, I don't think it'll happen, but we have had one come in and do a pass before, so maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see that. Air Canada Jazz 736. Lining up for departure. And again, I apologize. I got up here and realized I don't have my scanner, so that is set up in the car, ready to go for tomorrow. Here's the E175 for Air Canada Jazz. Beautiful night up here tonight. Pretty comfortable, only about 75 degrees. Actually, a pretty comfortable day. This morning, I thought about driving down to Columbus. We had the Omega air refueler 707 is down at Rickenbacker this weekend. Not sure when that's going to leave. I saw it took off this morning, flew around for a while, then went back. Really hoping to be able to catch that one before it leaves. So if anyone down at Rickenbacker knows anything about when that might leave, I will be more than happy to keep it under wraps, but I would love to find out when that's going to head out. Paul's here, so have a great time in Dayton tomorrow. I'm down the other side of the airport shooting photos. And got a 777 coming in, so hopefully get some nice photos of that one. John is here, and ENJ OLGTA 3 is here. Hope you guys are doing well. Got a heavy 777 diverting in. And we may have more than that, so we'll keep an eye on everything. Drove over to the other side to get the A321neo that diverted in last night. That's part of the scanner. But I took the scanner out just to make sure everything was charged, and I see I have the batteries for it, but I don't have the scanner, so you guys will have to get that ready to go for tomorrow. I had to work this morning, and I was watching that thing go around, and almost, I saw it take off, and I thought, maybe it'll go back. I thought about making a trip down there, and then decided not to, and I decided to go, and there's a bunch of wrecks on 71 today, so I ended up turning around and coming back home. Try to get some stuff ready to go for tomorrow. Big weekend down there at the Dayton Air Show this weekend. United 777 is about 2 minutes out now. First of a few diversions we actually have coming in tonight. Air Canada Jazz Flight 736 lining up for departure. I'm kind of watching it, but also trying to see the 777. Off to our left, United 435 Heavy 777-300 inbound from San Francisco. And as the 777 rolls out, we got a Southwest 737 MAX taking the runway now. Both runways are open today. There they are. And we'll see as that line of stores passes through New York how long the 777 hangs out. So back-to-back days with heavy diversions. We had a 787 divert in yesterday. And of course, we had the 100th anniversary United A321 divert in last night. I did stay up here a little bit to get that coming in, and went over to the other side to get some pictures of it on the ground. Definitely pretty dark when it came in, but I was still pretty glad to see it. We got a Delta A220 on the field. This should be the one heading to Minneapolis. We got another one that diverted in. Take a look at the comments here. So again, we'll probably stick around. Won't be probably as long of a stream as normal tonight, just because it's a short night and a long drive in the morning. I got tickets for both days, but we'll probably only do one day. The weather on Saturday, or weather on Sunday, looks kind of iffy. So we'll keep an eye on it. Hey, we have another diversion coming in. It's going to be United Flight 1283, 757-200 out of Denver. Will be diverting in here in a little bit. Brandon said, got here just in time. Glenn's asking, do you have a paid subscription to Nav Radar or Flight Radar 24? And which one do you believe is better? I have the paid subscription to both. Both are really nice. Actually, if I had to pick a favorite, it's actually probably Jet Tip. So Jet Tip will kind of go through and we'll track any type of alerts that comes up on a lot of the different flight tracking apps and give you some information on what's coming in. I think both are pretty good. One thing that's kind of annoying me lately about Flight Radar 24 is I don't think it's really the app's fault. I think it's my phone. Is that it has that AR detection, so you can point up to the sky and it'll tell you what's flying what's flying overhead, which is kind of nice if you're trying to identify something, especially if it's a little bit farther away. Or if it's like military, that's kind of hard to see. But lately it hasn't been working, and I think it's just an issue with my phone. AirNav is really nice though for live streams. So they have some really cool customizable widgets. We got a A319 coming in. That allows you, if you're building a live stream, to put the graphics that are like what we have down below. You can do customizable graphics. You can do like the maps with a radar and whatnot, which are pretty cool. So I think both really have their use. I think Flight Radar 24 might be a little bit easier to use, a little bit more user-friendly for most people. But AirNav is really nice for streaming. Actually, a Flight Aware too, which is, I guess, kind of more the original one in some ways. I feel like Flight Aware picks up like some of the military stuff a little bit more. So I have the free version of that, but definitely one of the things I'll do in my free time is, especially on a day like today, is browse those apps to see what might be coming in. 777 is going to park on a de-ice pad. And then for ATC, I have I usually have a scanner, but I forgot to grab it when I came up here. I got everything ready for the show tomorrow, and I forgot to grab it.
American 650, Cleveland Tower, wind speed 980 at 8, only 24 right, signaling in.
United is going to put the diverting 777 on the de-ice pad tonight. We have the A220 over on pad 3. So we certainly might have more coming in. I know we have a 757 coming in. American Airlines 650, 737 MAX inbound from Dallas Fort Worth over downtown, turning final, followed by Southwest 4506 out of Chicago Midway. And then another diversion, United 1892, a 737 MAX out of, we're actually coming back in. It took off from Hopkins almost 2 hours ago. Cleveland to Newark, and they're coming back. So pour one out for the poor passengers and crew on that one who just went out and flew around for 2 hours only to come right back. And again, we'll watch some military stuff as well. There's an E6 that's flying around. I don't think it'll come in, but it's flying around Youngstown, and I have seen that come in and do a touch and go before, so maybe we'll get lucky and that'll come in and do a pass for us tonight. That would be the dream. Keep your fingers crossed, maybe we'll get some more. Diverting in out of Newark. Brandon was at Gravelly Point this morning over by DCA, and it was so hot. Saw CRJ do a go around in the JetBlue I Heart New York livery. Well, very nice. Hope you had a good time out there. Hope you're going to be out there in a couple of weeks. For this Great America State Fair that they're putting on. They're supposed to have a bunch of military flyovers. I know the B-2 is one of them. And I saw this morning where the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds are like the Super Delta. And I think the Thunderbirds lined up with Patrol de France. I could be wrong on that, but pretty exciting day to be out that way for sure. The A319 that came in, by the way, is a regular flight that must have got out of Newark in time. So nothing unusual about that one. But we'll see how long the 777 hangs around. And maybe we'll catch it leaving on the stream today, depending on how long they stick around. I know we got some more coming in. Out to my left, we have American Airlines Flight 650 737 MAX out of Los Angeles inbound. As I hear an aviator, they're setting up for a wedding, so I'm just trying to stay hidden today. I want to make sure that I'm not going to be in anyone's shots for the wedding. Don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow. We got a beautiful couple of days coming up, so it might be tomorrow, but But keeping an eye on all that. Tigers and Guardians are playing downtown. Southwest 4506 inbound from Midway, and then a diversion in 1892, a Max 9 out into her. Just while we're in between, we'll take a look. I see United 274. It's a 757 holding over the lake now. Korean Air 85 is also holding over the lake. United 1283, 757 diverting in about 15-20 minutes out. Couple of 757s. Flight 1970 is circling. We have Delta 668, a 767 that's holding. More than likely would probably go to Detroit if it diverted. We have Cathay Pacific, an A350 that's holding as well. So lots of flights are holding. A couple of those, like that Korean, would be an absolute dream catch. Southwest touching down out of Chicago. That area got hit hard last night with storms. Some major tornadoes went through the Midwest yesterday, caused a lot of damage. So definitely thinking about everyone who was impacted in the weather yesterday. Look at our heavy sitting on the pad. Died in 1892. Took off out of Hopkins about 2 hours ago. 737 Max 9 diverting back in. Feel bad for these guys today. United rolling out. So that is 4 diversions we've had come in so far. We had another 737 divert in a little bit before that. On the pad, I see, get UPS out of the way. I see the Delta A220 is taxiing. So I wonder if maybe they're going to start letting everyone go back in. I would love if that Korean came in. That would be an absolute dream. Delta 972, not sure where they're going. I'm assuming it's going to Detroit. It's an A330-900, and it says diverting to Philadelphia, but it is not on a path to take it to Philadelphia. So I'm wondering if it's going to go to Detroit. However, it is following a 757 that's diverting here, so we'll keep an eye on that. Take a Delta A330 tonight. That Korean, though, that would be the dream catch for us tonight. Again, not sure where the A220 is heading. I wonder if they're going to take them to a gate. Well, there's an awful lot of stuff circling out there that makes me think there's no way that they're going to be leaving right now. Unless they got some gas and they're going to go back up and hold. Brandon also saw the A400 do an approach. I wonder if that was a French A400 that came in today. That'd be pretty neat to see. Zach here. Hope you're doing well today. A lot of people up here now with the diversion, which I am not surprised, to be honest. Frontier 1492, A321neo out of Tampa, about 15 minutes out. But that Omega tanker that's at Rickenbacker right now, 707, that's one of my top 5 probably bucket list aircraft. Really hoping we can catch that one. I have some family ties with 707s back in the day. I believe my great uncle either flew them or worked on them back in the day. So would love to see that one take off. It was like the Delta A330 decided, hey, we're on the wrong way for Philly. They turned around heading southeast now. But again, lots of stuff holding, so keep your fingers crossed. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hope you're enjoying your evening. Absolutely beautiful night up here in Northeast Ohio. Just got some faint clouds to the south. Other than that, it is crystal clear tonight. Got a light breeze. Really wish the weather would be like this tomorrow down in Dayton. Tomorrow's supposed to be a scorcher down there, as I feel like it usually is down there. But an absolutely beautiful day here today in Northeastern Ohio. Got some great lighting as some of the aircraft come in. Got some great aircraft here on the field as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Triple 7 currently showing 8:51 as the departure time. We'll see if that actually holds true. We also should have a UPS 757 departing around 9 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on that as well. That's probably about how long we'll hang around, just because tomorrow's a long day. But we'll see how things go. Frontier 1492 about 8 minutes out now from Tampa. Also a NetJet citation out of Chicago Midway. Cathay broke their pattern. They're going to go to Toronto. Got some weather in the DC area as well, it looks like, so kind of more to keep an eye on. But Cathay is going to Toronto. Got a few more aircraft out there holding now. United 1283, 757, 200. Denver to Newark, about 20 minutes out. That aircraft to be diverting in. And hey, we still have an E6 Mercury circling over Youngstown, so could get something cool. Delta 2866, it's a Airbus A320, or sorry, A220. It was Minneapolis to Newark. It is taxiing out now. I wonder if they're going to go take off, if they're going to go to the gate. There's the A220. There's a Southwest ahead of them. Looks like they got some gas and maybe trying to head back out. I said Newark. I think it was LaGuardia. I apologize. So they may be going back up and holding again. You know what? They may be going to the gate because Southwest is going to the runway, and the Delta is not holding behind it. Yeah, it looks like Delta's going to go to a gate, so the crew must have timed out. And they may be spending some time with us this evening. 2 A220s here tonight. Well, we got Southwest. Southwest 4295 heading to BWI. 737 MAX. I hear a helicopter. At least it sounds like a helicopter. MAX 8 heading to Baltimore. Southwest heading out. I see American. Sorry about that. I was swatting a mosquito and I got too excited. Frontier 1492 turning over downtown on final from Tampa. Korean's still holding up there. There's still a chance. Not saying it'll happen, but there's a chance. On the field. This should be the one. Yeah, I'm up here swatting flies and I knocked the HDMI cable off. Sorry about that. I'm hoping for Korean. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Your block says Hopkins is really set up for diversions tonight. Yeah, we got a few so far, praying for a few more. I know we got a 757 coming in. Sorry about that. I do need to replace the cable for this too. Yeah, if the E6 comes in though, it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be it'll be a really quick touch and go, I think, if that comes in. Frontier 1492 on final. Looking off to the left for Tampa. I have a new cable at home. I just really need to bring it. Just throw this one away. ARF heading out for the 777, so I wonder if they'll be getting some fuel. Staging just to make sure everything is okay out there. And again, that's supposed to leave here within an hour, but we'll see what happens with the weather if they're able to get out of here. This HDMI cable is kind of like the iPhone cable when it's on its last legs and it only works if it's plugged in a certain way. So I just need to throw it away and put the other one on. Yeah, it looks like the fuel truck's going out to the 777, so looks like they're going to be getting some gas before they head back to Newark. Really cool aircraft, a flagship of United's fleet, the 777-300. NetJets inbound from Chicago Midway. We have Southwest 747 out of Las Vegas. And another diversion, United 1283 out of Denver. Korean is still holding up there. Delta 415 A321neo is heading to Detroit. It's actually another United 757 that broke pattern. It's flight 1970, and it looks like it may be coming our way as well. United, a couple of UPS 767s out there as well. So I think United 1970 might be ours as well. American CRJ heading out. We're watching the inbound flights though with the citation. Korean I don't think is likely, but boy, wouldn't that be something though? Wouldn't that be something? That one came in. Here is the citation. Meanwhile, we have a United A319 heading over for the runway. Brandon's asking, why does Southwest only operate the 737? It makes it the least among the least diverse fleets and commercial airliners ever. Well, they're not going for diversity. They're going for fleet simplification. Southwest has made a lot of money with their one aircraft type fleets. So you got to think that all the Southwest pilots can fly all their aircraft. All the Southwest mechanics can work on all their aircraft. You only need one type rating if every aircraft is the same. So Southwest has done very, very, very well with its all 737 fleet. In fact, it wasn't until only about 10 or so years ago that they got the the 737-800 in their fleet. They were always on the smaller versions. They had the 200s, the 300s, they had the 500s in their fleet at one point, the 700s. So fleet simplification is what they're going for. And that saved a ton of money over the years. It's also pretty common for most of your low-cost airlines as well. Frontier's all A320s. Spirit was all A320s. At least towards the end. They had DC-9s and MD-11s at one point, but Airbus fleet for Spirit, Airbus fleet for Frontier. Ryanair has all 737s. It's a pretty common trait for your low-cost airlines, just because that fleet simplification saves them a lot of money, and they can plug any airplane onto pretty much any route and anyone can fly them. But Southwest is talking about eventually doing some long-haul flights, so eventually we'll see something other than 737s in that fleet. I think Alaska, until very recently, was an all 737 airline as well before their mergers. And 396 heading to Chicago O'Hare. Even most of your regionals, you think about most of your regionals fly the same aircraft type as well, just for the same reason. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. United 1283, it's another diversion, 757-200 out of Denver. Passing over downtown inbound. You got United 2652, Southwest 747, and Frontier 1055 inbound as well. And I think we're getting another diversion as well. I think we're going to get another 757. American Eagle taking the runway. The Piedmont operated Flight 5862 ERJ 145 heading to Philadelphia. Philly got a big diversion last night. The Lufthansa A380 that was going into Washington Dulles diverted in due to weather. And I know back to Southwest, a lot of people were jumping down their throats a few years ago when the MAX groundings were going on, saying Southwest needs to diversify their fleet. They can't be all 737s, blah, 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 blah. Well, you didn't hear the same complaints about airlines like Frontier and Spirit and the other airlines out there that had just Airbus fleets. And you got to think those engine issues, even though they're not as severe as the MCAS issues for sure, but the engine issues on the Pratt & Whitney engines on the A220s are a big reason why Spirit is no longer with us. A320s. Fire Raiders asking any more diversions? And the answer to that is, yeah, we got a 757 right now, and I think we're getting another one. Another diversion inbound. Restaurant here is playing some interesting music. Had to take a minute to get back to the comments and to the radar, as we got several aircraft inbound. Here's our Southwest. Flight 747 inbound from Las Vegas. Kind of like what to look at as we try to track some more flights here. X-Ray 1000 Yankee Tango asking, think there'll be any more diversions to Pittsburgh? I know you got an American 787 yesterday. I hope not. You guys seem to get all the good stuff. Definitely possible though. Lots of weather on the East Coast tonight. Yeah, so weather on the East Coast is the reason for all the diversions tonight. Korean is still holding up there. Got United 1830 out of Phoenix, a 737 holding. United 274, another 757 that's holding up there. It was like 1970, one of the ones I thought might be coming here. 757 is going to Philadelphia. Some aircraft are kind of starting to make the trip to New York, so we'll see how many more we get. United 2227, a 757 holding over Michigan. Delta 767 holding over Michigan. If that were to divert, it would almost certainly go to Detroit, but keep an eye on things as we go. Frontier 1055 inbound from Orlando, Airbus A321neo. United 2652 out of Chicago. And United 2476 out of Denver. It's like the old hub days up here. A lot of United flights coming in. United Express 3525 out of Newark inbound. That E6 is still holding over Youngstown. If that would just come in and do a touch and go, it would be amazing. We had one do it either late last year or early next year, or earlier this year when I was at work. And one of the things I wish I would have seen. So hopefully that does come in. I doubt it, but hey, you never know. Here's Frontier. They had one on static at the St. Louis Air Show last weekend. I wish they'd get one in Dayton for their air show, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. Or even Columbus. I'd love to see an E6 up close. The London, Ontario Air Show, it always seems to get a bunch of really cool statics. They're going to get an E6 Sentry, or E3 Sentry, I apologize, as one of the static displays. Still not sure what the big surprise that they have teased is going to be tomorrow. It could be nothing, or it could be something pretty cool. I know that the Stinger showed up today after all. The Toledo F-16s that were supposed to be there and canceled. I kind of wonder if it's going to be a mass flyover. That's seems to kind of be my guess. But I guess we'll find out. C Fries here says, got another United diverting in. Hopefully that does come in. Guardians are up right now, 2-1 over the Tigers. Another United 737 rolls out. Now we just need a 6-7 and an 8-7. Park over there. There's a 3-7 that diverted in, so we see the 6-7 and an 8-7. Also doesn't sound like the P3 that was supposed to be on static showed up, so that's unfortunate for Dayton. But looking forward to seeing the show tomorrow. Should be a beautiful day. Gonna be hot, but should be a beautiful day. We'll see the Raptor, we'll see the Blue Angels. Lots of good statics as well. Tora will be there. So it should still be a good time. Unfortunately, we had a lot of cancellations with the military, but it still should be a good time. Looking forward to that show, and definitely excited to see what the surprise may be if it still happens. United Express 3525 E175 inbound from Newark, followed by United 2476 A 737 Max out of Denver. I don't know if we're going to have anything else come in though. There is a 737 circling over the lake, but I'm starting to see aircraft break the holding pattern now. And some aircraft actually beginning to trip over to New York. It looks like 1970 that was diverting to Philly. They're starting to change their minds, so we may not have any more diversions tonight. There are still a whole bunch out there though. I did 2227 out of LAX, a 757 holding 1750 and A321neo holding for United. There's still plenty to hold, so there's still a chance, but we'll keep an eye on stuff. We'll also keep an eye on those two to see when they're going to head out. And again, I apologize, I didn't bring my scanner tonight. It's packed up for tomorrow. Well, Korean Air has broken the holding pattern. They're heading our way. I don't know if they're actually going to come in. He's still at 35,000 feet though, so I'm going to go with probably not. But that would be an amazing catch. He's not descending though, which makes you think it's not diverting. But that would be amazing if it did decide to come in. I think it'd probably go to Toronto, Detroit, or maybe even DC, but that'd be a dream come true if it came in though. It'd be pretty cool to see that. That just says I missed the Korean cargo 777 that went to Rickenbacker earlier this year. LCK gets some random good stuff. If you're in the Columbus area right now, the Omega 707 tanker is down there today. I don't know when it's going to leave, but man, I would love to find out. That is an absolute bucket list catch. Yeah, Korean turn to the east now, so I think they're heading to New York. So I don't think they're going to be coming in. United 737 inbound. Again, this reminds me of the hub days. All these United flights that are coming in. Off to the left, I see the Delta A220 that we had go to the gate a little bit ago. The strobes are on. The beacons are flashing on it. I wonder if they're getting ready to push back and continue their journey to New York. The E6 though, that's still holding. And it looks like we're actually going to have a military fly over here in a little bit. There are two KC-46s going into the pattern over Pittsburgh. And it looks like a P-8 maybe with them. And I thought I saw a C-17 as well. So looks like there's going to be some aerial refueling in the southern half of the pattern right now. Unfortunately, if they were to go in the pattern, I got these trees behind me, so we wouldn't see it. But yeah, I see two KC-46s, I see a P-8 and a C-17 with them, so got some tanking going on tonight. So if you're down in Pittsburgh right now, you're going to be down in Canton or Worcester here within about a half hour or so. Going to see some aerial refueling going on, it looks like. Yeah, if you're in Pittsburgh, look up. It's like a KC-46 going into the pattern with a C-17. And then there's another one with a P-8 that's behind it, so looks like may get to see some aerial refueling today. Frontier 4036, A321neo inbound from Atlanta. We have Delta Connection 5194 CRJ out of LaGuardia, about 8 minutes out. Delta Air Canada Jazz 735 out of Toronto is about 20 minutes out. Southwest 4075 out of Baltimore is a half hour out. American 1679 out of Charlotte. Delta 1339 out of Atlanta, and Envoy 3466 out of Chicago. And there's certainly a few aircraft here on the field. And we should see taxi here at some point. No action so far around the 777 or the 757 that diverted in. There you go, get some pictures of it. X1000YT, I see the KC-46 and C-17 from my house in Pittsburgh. There you go. Get some pictures of it. It's always cool to see that. Yeah, I think Korean is going to JFK. And that is true. Southwest did have 727s back in the day, and Alaska the MD-80s. But yeah, fleet simplification, that is the name of the game for those airlines. Don't think we're having a military flight coming in here. I just mean you're going into the aerial refueling pattern, which starts off over Pittsburgh. It goes over Canton, Worcester, out to around the Lima area. And then it turns north to around like Toledo, and then it comes back over the lake and passes over Cleveland. So I don't think we'll see it here because of where I'm at. But if I was in a little bit farther over in the parking lot, probably about an hour or so, I'd be able to see them. But I don't think anything's coming in here. Ah, bummer. I think about 2 or 3 times a day during the week is usually when I see those go into the pattern. It's usually a KC-135 with like a C-17. Sometimes it's a C-30 or a C-32B, which is pretty cool. But yeah, keep your eyes out. You never know what you're going to see. I saw an E3 Sentry a couple of years ago in the pattern, and the E4 Night Watch last year. So you never know what you're going to see in that pattern. It's going to be pretty cool. It's a AR route. I think it's 218 and 219, I think are what they are. But they go, it's Pittsburgh out to about Lima, north to Toledo, then over the lake. Now we have a 7 or A321 for JetBlue tomorrow coming in. My guess is because I won't be here, it'll be a special livery, but but yeah, pretty cool to see that if you're up here tomorrow. I am at the Aviator tonight, trying to hide though. There's a wedding going on, so I'm trying to be quiet. The best spot to watch planes taking off on a night like tonight would be either one of the businesses off Aerospace Parkway. There's some mounds off of Grayton Road that's pretty good that a lot of people go to. Those are kind of the couple of spots that a lot of people will go to. And if they're going the other way, then this would be a good spot because you'd be coming towards us. Or the airport parking garage if you want to pay. Not sure if there's any more diversions coming in. I don't think so. It looks like the weather has passed through. And the aircraft I've been watching have been breaking the patterns. I don't think there'll be any more coming in, but we'll keep an eye on it. A week from today, by the way, if you're in the area, Avello will begin their service. So if you're out here next week, I'll be at the Columbus Air Show, so I won't see the first flight, but Avello will start service next week here to Cleveland. I don't think anything else will divert, but we can keep our eyes on it. Looks like the weather is has kind of broken up or has moved out of New York, so I don't think so. But I can tell most of the aircraft have kind of broken their patterns that are starting to go in, so I don't think there'll be any more diversions, but I mean, never say never. Only thing that'll be left will be seeing the ones that are here off. Of course, when I'm busy, I never see them, like the A350 for Egypt Air. You had to get up early for that one. It came in around like 4:30 in the morning, and then it left around 1 o'clock in the morning. So you had to get up early or stay up late to see that one. I kind of regret not coming back for the departure, though. I mean, it was a Sunday night and a Monday morning, and I had to work, but I kind of regret not coming back for the departure. So I was glad to see it land, though. That's pretty cool to see that here. CMH Aviation is excited for the Cleveland Air Show, Dayton Air Show tomorrow. Hope to see you down there. Windshear says, my grandpa is actually flying in from Chicago tonight. I hope he has a good flight. Beautiful night to fly. At least he's coming in tonight and not last night. Last night would have been pretty rough. So glad he's coming in tonight. Nick used to go in and take some photos of the wedding and grab some food. I'll tell you what, I don't consider myself to be a great photographer in any way, shape, or form. I enjoy it. There's a lot I still feel like I have to learn. I have absolutely no interest in wedding photography, though. That just absolutely stresses me out even thinking about it, because that's someone's once-in-a-lifetime moment, and they pay a lot of money for it. And I know you can make a lot of money for it as a wedding photographer, but man, that is something that absolutely terrifies me even thinking about doing. We'll take the food, though. I'm definitely hungry. Windshear Aviation is asking, what's the rarest thing you've ever seen in Cleveland? Ooh. Let me think now. I mean, the NASA DC-8 in Dayton is one of the rarest things I've ever seen in general. If I got the Omega 707 this morning in Columbus, that would have been on the list too. But as far as here in Cleveland, I had to think. The AN-26 that came in earlier this year, that's pretty rare to see that around here. I had to think. We had like a flying boat that came in. I forget what it was, but it was part of the International Test Pilot School that came in when I was still filming on my iPhone. We had the B-17 Sentimental Journey came through a couple of years ago. They came through Hopkins to clear customs. So I mean, seeing a B-17 here, that was pretty cool. That was pretty crazy. Gotta think. I mean, lots of special liveries. I mean, of course, diversions like the Air France A350 that came in, a lot Polish Airlines that came in, Egypt Air that came in, the Lufthansa A340 and the Star Alliance livery last year. That was pretty wild. That was pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, we've definitely seen our handful of rare stuff. The government aircraft that come in too. I mean, that's always pretty cool. If the E6 would come in and do a flyby, that would be one of them. So I don't know. I have to go back and think about that. Yeah, it looks like another KC-46 and C-17 are linking up in the pattern. So again, if you're Pittsburgh to Canton to Worcester, keep your heads up over the next half hour or so. You see some aerial refueling going on in the pattern, which is always a treat. Oh, hey, we got an aircraft inbound. Frontier out of Atlanta. I think what else I've seen over the years that was rare. These 727s are pretty. It's a C1 nowadays. Those are pretty rare. Whoops, too far. UPS taxiing out for their flight to Louisville. The P8, even better. CMH Aviation says, I'll be at the air show tomorrow. Hopefully we run into each other. And I'll definitely be around. And get there as early as I can and get some pictures of the statics, and looking forward to seeing the aircraft fly. Probably the DC-3 is the one I'm most excited to see. It's usually a static aircraft on display, but I'm excited to see that one heading out. PS 1447 going to Louisville. Cause. And the cause tonight is weather. Lots of weather on the East Coast. Actually had about 4 or 5 diversions. We had a couple of 737s diverted, 757, we had a Delta A220 diverted. So there's lots of weather on the East Coast tonight. Paul says, I'd rather be shooting photos of jets. Absolutely. Jets don't yell at me if I screw up. I yell at myself if I screw up, but I don't get yelled at. My son, or my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and their kids, just for fun. And even that is like, oh my goodness, I don't want to mess these up. We took him to see Santa last year, which was hilarious because he absolutely bawled. It was awful, but also hilarious. And some pictures that I'll hold on to for the rest of my life is mostly blackmail. But even that was like, oh my goodness, I got like 30 seconds to get this right. So I couldn't imagine shooting a wedding. So all respect to those that do it and those that do it really well. It's Korean 85 going to divert. I think it's going to JFK. It was holding for a while, but it looks like it broke its pattern unless something happens and it turns around. It was holding over the lake for a while. I was saying a lot of prayers. UPS 1447, a 757 heading to Louisville. So SDF plane spotting. If you're watching today, I'm sending one your way. Gorgeous night here tonight. I wish that I don't think they're going to depart while there's still daylight. I think that they'll be sticking around for a little while longer, but it's a really nice shot. So they were to depart, if you were on that side and they were to depart in like the next 15, 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I'm not sure if the E6 is more powerful than the E4 or not. I know they're both pretty classified. The E4 has been in and out of Dayton the last few days. I saw that took off this morning. Also kind of hoping that might be one of the, if the surprise ended up being the E4 doing a pass, I would be very happy with that. Oh, hey, we got a GA aircraft inbound. I think. Is it just doing a touch and go? I guess it may just be doing a touch and go. 777-300, 757-200. Sitting on the de-ice pad tonight. They're diverting due to weather. 50 Cal Lindy car is asking, why are they diverting? It's due to weather. There's a lot of weather in the East Coast. Impacted New York, LaGuardia, Newark, and JFK over the last couple of hours. That's why there's been a lot of diversions tonight. And yeah, it looks like the weather has moved out. So I don't think we'll see any more tonight. American Eagle 3466 inbound from Chicago, E175. At Air Canada Jazz 735 out of Toronto. Next two inbound flights. I see one of the tankers is about to pass over Worcester if you're down in that area tonight. And the E6 is still circling over the Youngstown Warren area. Suited Aviation says, it's fine. When I go to my dad's, he's taking me to JFK. Have a great time. That's a fun airport to go to. Not fun to fly through, though, but it is fun to visit. Joe says, UPS 1445 to Philly flies over my house Monday through Thursday, as long as they're taking off to the south. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat to see. The Louisville flights kind of do sometimes, but they're kind of off to the west a little bit when they pass over my house, but still a lot of fun to see those. Chris asking, how are you doing? Long time no see. Well, I'm doing pretty well. Hope you're doing well tonight. Getting ate up by mosquitoes a little bit, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well. Hope you're doing well tonight. Enjoying some beautiful weather. CMH says, if I ever did wedding photos, I'd rather be family or friends. Same. Can make good money doing it, though. That is definitely one of the perks of that, is if you get good at it and you get a good portfolio going, you can make some serious money doing it. You gotta have some serious equipment to do it, though. I don't have a fast enough lens. I mean, I would definitely need like a 7200 2.8 or something like that to do it. That's another reason why I wouldn't do it. Brandon says, I remember when NASA had the S3 Viking here. Odd but cool plane to see. You know, that's a good one as well for the rarest aircraft that I've seen at Hopkins. That was a rare airplane. I think it was the last one still flying at the time. So that's a good call out for the rarest airplane that we've had at Hopkins. Suited Aviation asking, you gonna be here 5 to 6 on the 19th? I think that's next Friday, and if it is, I'll be at the Columbus Air Show. So I won't be here on Friday night. So I am a little bummed I won't see the Avelo inaugural, but I think that's the American 777 on there. Come on, divert. Just kidding. S3 Viking, that's a good call out for the rarest airplane that's up here as well. I was browsing airliners.net, and back in the glory days of the Cleveland Air Show, there was one year where the B1 was here. It's like, oh my goodness, that would have been pretty cool too. UA 2227 diversion. Take a look. I don't think so. It looks like it's on its way to New York now. So again, I think all the diversions are over. Friday night I'll be in Columbus for the Columbus Air Show. Twilight show with the Thunderbirds and the Snowbirds. That should be a really good time as well. And maybe if things go right, the F4 will be there. American Eagle heading out. Frontier still waiting for their gate. They're sitting over here in front of the terminal. There's the Frontier that came in from Atlanta. Peachy the Fox probably isn't feeling very peachy right now. Joe says, Mr. Answer the best spots to watch taking off to the south like UPS is doing now. The aerospace over there, especially if they're on 2-4 right, which UPS likes to take. They would rotate right in front of some of those businesses over there. There's also some mounds off of Aerospace and Drayton Road that a lot of people will go to, especially in the morning. That's really good for the southern departures. Those are probably the two best ones that I can think of. There's a little hill as well on the side of Aerospace that's pretty good, but I would say for UPS is they try to go out on 2-4 right. A couple of business parks like Heartland Pavement's a really good one. There's a couple of the businesses off of Aerospace is a really good spot to get those southern departures for UPS. Or in the morning, the mounds off of Aerospace and Drayton. There's like a little pull off there. In the morning, you have really perfect light. In the evening, you'd be better on this side over by the business parks. But UPS tends to go out 2-4 right. Or 6 left, just because they could taxi right to the runway from their ramp. Sometimes the tower will take them to the other side, but they try to go on 2-4 right. Here's Air Canada Jazz. We should bring the A220s back. We had that little period of time last year. We had them for about 3 weeks with A220s. And I'm bringing it up because last year on the Friday before the Dayton Air Show, we had the retro come in. And I decided to go down to Dayton instead, thinking that, oh, it'll be back. And then a couple of days later, they stopped sending them. So I probably missed my one and only shot to catch the Air Canada Retro. There's our 777. It is a 777-300 that diverted in for United. So we got the 777, we got the 757, we got a couple of 737s, and the Delta A220 that diverted in. And a pencil. 777 is an eraser, 757 is a pencil. Redfire says, sent you 2 gift cards worth 5 cents. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Joe is asking, are passengers still on those diverted flights? And yeah, they're still on them. I forget how long ago they diverted. I think they get 3 hours. So they should still have a little bit of time. I see ARF is sitting over there. I saw one of the fuel trucks was over there a little bit ago, so I don't think they'll stick around too much longer. But yeah, passengers are still on those diverted flights. The Delta A220 went to the gate, so I'm thinking they got off. They might have got off that aircraft. The one I'm wondering about, I don't know where it went. I don't know if it went to the gate. 37. It took off out of Cleveland. It went to Newark, circled for about an hour. So they were in the air. But I wonder about that one. But yeah, there's still passengers on those 2 diverted aircraft. They'll go to a gate if they have to get off. But I think with the weather, I think they'll be okay. I think they'll get out of here pretty soon. Because it looks like the weather has moved out of off the coast. American Eagle heading out. That would suck though. I mean, as much fun as it is for us to catch diversions at an airport like this that don't really see a lot of heavies, it does suck for the passengers and crew on board. American Eagle heading out. See, our team is sitting over there keeping watch on our diversions. And there's the fuel tanker. I think it's leaving the 777. So I don't think they'll be around too much longer. I think they'll head out here probably in the next half hour or so. Imagine planning a trip to New York and ending up in Cleveland. I'll tell you what would be worse though, would be if you were planning a trip overseas and you had to go through New York and then you ended up in Cleveland and missed your connecting flight. That would be awful. But hey, Cleveland's a cool city. Go to the Rock Hall, go to the lake, go to Cedar Point, go to a game. Got the Guardians in town tonight. They're still winning, so that's a good thing. Latest update, 901 for the 777, 903 for the 757 as far as their departure. So we'll see if that holds true. If those aircraft leave at that time. Southwest 4075 inbound from Baltimore. And then American Eagle, or American Airlines 1679 inbound from Charlotte, about 10 minutes out for that. Team 76, one of the KC-46 tankers is turning around over Canton right now, or south of Canton right now. I had a text from my wife that she and Jackson are watching. So hi Jackson, how you doing? Dad, I'll see you in a little bit. Hi Jackson. Hi Jackson. I would sing Old MacDonald, but I won't do that. Last time an E6 was holding like this, it landed at Pittsburgh. And to be honest, it's part of the reason I'm up here, because it's been circling around for a while and I've seen it do this before, and then it came in and it did a touch and go. And so I hope that happens again. I doubt it will, but I hope it happens again. ARF and the tanker are leaving, by the way, so I think we're getting close to the diversions leaving. Brandon says the Antonov 124 is a rare one we've had here in Cleveland. Been a little bit since we had one. I think the last one we had was Volga, if I remember right. So yeah, it'd be cool to see another one of those here again. I'd love to see that again. That was a really rare aircraft. And of course the Dubai 747, that's a rare airplane that we've had here. Rare not just because it's a government aircraft, but rare because of it's a passenger 747. There's just not too many of those around anymore. If I sent you 2 gifts worth 5 cents, thank you so much. CMH Aviation, I did go to CMH last year just for the AE220 for Air Canada one night last year. I did go to CMH last year. I'm not having any issue with the audio. At least it sounds. I got it up and it sounds okay. But take a look. Maybe something went out. TPAJ said the AA-DC-3 would be my favorite at the show. In my airline career, I only flew a DC-3 once as a non-rev for Sunpro Air from Fort Lauderdale to PBI. Unusual at that time, both pilots were women. Oh wow, that is a very interesting story, and you're right, incredibly unusual, unusual to be honest in today's day and age. So I would imagine incredibly unusual in those days. And I agree with you, the AA-DC-3, that is probably the one that I'm most looking forward to tomorrow. So it's usually on static down there. I've seen it a few times. I saw it depart last year, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that airplane fly around and try to get some photos of it, because that's a very, very historic aircraft. It is a legitimate American Airlines DC-3 that flew through the airline back in the 1930s and 1940s, I think. The flagship Detroit even appeared in some of their ads. So I'm really excited to see that airplane actually fly at the show tomorrow. I'm going to sound weird, but I'm more excited to see that than I am the jets. Fighters are cool, but to me, you can see them anywhere. So I like to see the stuff that's really unique, that you really can't see anywhere else. Chris is asking, are the United staying overnight? I don't think so. I saw the fuel truck in ARF leave a couple of minutes ago, and they're still showing around a 9 o'clock departure, so I think they're going to get out of here. What do you think about the upcoming Browns season? Oh, with Myles Garrett being gone, I think 0-17 may be on the table this year. I don't know if they'll be that bad, but I don't think they'll be very good. I think maybe 3 or 4 wins at most. At most, maybe. So your blocks is asking, why is the E6 circling? The military is confusing sometimes. It's definitely performing performing some sort of mission, or some sort of training flight, some sort of sortie. And they're clearly training tonight. Or maybe they're planning for their invasion of Niles and Warren. Nah, they're definitely flying a training mission tonight. That's what the tankers are doing as well. The KC-46s that are in the pattern right now. That's what they're doing. They're doing the training sortie with I think a C-17 and a P-8, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what they're doing. Train in friendly, controlled skies like what we have here in the U.S. so that when they need to actually go into combat, they're ready for it. Southwest taking a runway. Chris asking, did all the passengers and crew just stay on the Uniteds? And yeah, they have not gotten off. There is a limit. I think it's 3 hours, but there is a limit to how long they can keep you on the plane before they have to let you off. And so they will tend to just leave. They will tend to keep them on the airplanes as long as they can. That way they don't have to go back to the gate, find the gate, and then deboard. And then once everything's cleared up, they got to reboard. So they would rather just leave everyone on the plane and be ready to go when they get clearance to go back. But that's definitely no fun for the passengers for sure. And you can't let them get off and walk around over there on the pad, so. Southwest heading out. Browns are building for 2029 when that new stadium is open. I think that's when they're trying to, they want to have a winning product on the field by then. They still got to figure out their quarterback issues though. Among many, 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 many other things. Knowing the Browns, Deshaun Watson will come back and get off to a good start. And they'll be like 4-1 or something like that. And all of a sudden there'll be some moves in the front office and say, hey, maybe we should extend this guy. So the E6 broke the holding pattern, is coming south to Pittsburgh. Is it descending? Now, it looks like he's staying at altitude though, so I wonder if it's maybe heading to Andrews or something like that. Or back to Pawtuxet. Was hoping we'd see it though. It doesn't look like it. American 1679 on final over downtown out of Charlotte, followed by Frontier 3232 out of Las Vegas. A FlexJet Challenger out of Ironwood and Delta 1339 out of Atlanta. You see the Purolator livery Castle Aviation Saab is going Indianapolis to Hamilton, which means it'll probably come in late tonight and go back through customs. Still have not seen that aircraft, which is kind of annoying. Southwest passing in front of the 777, which supposedly would be leaving any minute. I don't have my scanner on me tonight, so I can't tell you for sure. But I should be leaving around 9:01, the 75 at 9:03, and then another 75 if we stick around that long, which I don't know if we will. UPS 1441 to Louisville at 9:30. Don't know if we'll stick around that long though. We got an early day and a long drive tomorrow, and I know I have a couple of people coming over that we're going to ride down to Dayton together, so. I see someone got the picture of the KC-46 with the P8. They sent to me on Instagram. That's pretty cool. My fault. I was checking the radar and forgot about the American. Well, they came in hot though. Woo! Glad I'm not paying for those tires. Turned into a gorgeous night though. Look at the golden hour light we have going on the two aircraft taxiing over in front of the terminal. Got American and Southwest. American should be flight 650 heading back to LAX. I was hoping that E6 would come over and do a touch and go, but no dice. Behind the American, I see Delta 1449. It's an A220. Beacons are on. Looks like they're getting ready to push back for Minneapolis. The other one that diverted in, I don't see any activity around that one, so that one may be spending the night. Frontier 3232 on final from Las Vegas. And this should be a really pretty shot when this comes by. Frontier rolling out. American 650 taking their runway now for Charlotte. Or Los Angeles, I apologize. There's a song in there, right? Heads Carolina, tails California. Great 90s country song. Anyways. 737 MAX heading to Los Angeles. Taking off into some cotton candy, pink and purple skies tonight. FlexJet Challenger inbound. Sending this one over to our buddy Brandon. Hopefully this one doesn't need any extra work for you tonight. Tell you what, I don't know what they cater for this wedding, but it smells absolutely amazing. So someone was saying earlier, Grundon takes some pictures and snags some food. It's getting tempting, not gonna lie. I actually got some fire pits off over here as well. If I turn the camera off to the right, you got a patio with some fire bowls over there. Actually a really comfortable, kind of cozy spot here. So if you want to come to a nice place to get a good bite to eat and relax with your family or friends and watch some airplanes, this is the place to be for sure. There's our two diversions, our 7.5 and our 777-300. Delta 1339 on final over downtown, inbound from Atlanta, and the two aircraft that are in the pattern. Oh, I wish I was a little bit farther off to the left. Because they're gonna pass over downtown and I can't see them because they're behind me. They got all these trees here. One of the tankers, the KC-46. So hey, if you're in Cleveland, look to the north. You'll see a KC-46. I think it's dragging a C-17 with it. Just get a nice view of that. They're at 22,000 feet. Hey, beacons are on. No, they're not. I saw beacons by the 777, but it is the American taxi behind it. So yeah, if you're in Cleveland, look off to the north. You'll see a KC-46 doing some aerial refueling tonight. I unfortunately am in a bad spot. If I wasn't right here, I could see him behind me. Audrey says, been storming in Washington. It may be going there. Several flights over me in western PA. No weather? Off to the coast. Let me take a look. I see the weather in New York is gone. There is definitely some weather to the south of DC. The 777 is going back to New York. They just need their clearance to get back over there. So when you have these diversions, or you have this weather and these aircraft that are holding, and you got aircraft that are diverting, you also got aircraft that are stuck on the ground over there. So that leads to a mess. You got gates that are occupied that they are planning for some of these aircraft to go to. You got airplanes that have been holding, and so now all of a sudden you got a ton of traffic going in. So they need all that to clear out so they can get some windows to get these airplanes in there. So I'm sure that's what's going on, is they're waiting to get everything sorted out in New York before they can send these airplanes over there. Even here, when we have weather and you got a whole bunch of airplanes holding, once everything opens back up, it's pretty busy for about 15 or 20 minutes or so. And so to deal with an airport like Newark or JFK or something like that, it's going to take some time to be able to get everything sorted out before they can start letting airplanes back in. Yeah, they're past me now. I was going to try to see if I run over and get a picture of them, but they're past me now. It was really cool to see aerial refueling. That's some of my favorite things to watch. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes they usually will pass right over where I work. So I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've tried to time it to run outside to see if I can see something. Opaline says meow. Wait, that had amazing shots. That says weather looks clear in New York. Why the wait? Again, we're just probably waiting to get some clearance to get these aircraft over there. I think the 777 will go first, if I had to take a guess. But hopefully we'll see them depart here before it gets too dark. X1000 Yankee Tango got a good photo of the KC-46 in P8. I would love to see that. Beautiful lighting and everything. It'd be a great night to see that tonight. Brandon says, I hate them planes. Your block says, I commonly forgot that AA has max 8s. Honestly, I wonder about American's fleet in some ways because they got the 321 Neos and they got the max 8s, and I know they got 787s, but their fleet is getting pretty old. So I wonder what their long-term fleet plans are going to be. I know the 777 and 300s aren't that old, but the 200s are getting up there. They don't have their 75s or 76s anymore. So I do wonder long-term what American is going to do with their fleet. We know United has got the credit card out. They're buying pretty much everything they can get. But I wonder what American is going to do. Delta's got a lot of airplanes on order as well. It's very pretty tonight. I don't know how it's going to come out on the stream, but the sky right now is absolutely amazing. So you got like a darker, like a bluish color, almost like a bluish green color around, towards the ground, about to the height of the old control tower, and then above it you have like a nice, like a pink hue. And then it kind of fades to blue above it. I don't know how well it's coming out on the stream, but it is very pretty up here tonight. 73 degrees, really almost no wind. Absolutely beautiful night to be outside tonight. Beautiful night to have a bonfire. Beautiful night to watch some airplanes as well. Delta 1449, I saw it push back. I heard the whale noises from the A220's engines, but they haven't gone anywhere yet. Should be heading to Minneapolis. Now I see him taxiing out. Air Ling is pushing back as well. Flight 9 Lima Tango to Dublin, the A321 XLR tonight. United at 1084, A319 for Newark. I see that aircraft Newark. Got a repositioning flight, United Express 3310. At least I think it's a repositioning flight. It's going to Norfolk on the E175. Frontier 2697 A321neo to Phoenix, and Frontier 2282 Orlando. Those aircraft are live. Delta 751, one of our diversions, 737-800 to LaGuardia is live. Frontier 1821 to Las Vegas is live. Delta 2866, the other A220 I see is back live, so it may be pushing back soon for Newark. So I think we're getting close to letting a lot of the diversion aircraft, I can't talk, to begin their flights over to New York. Delta 1449 Airbus A220 heading to Minneapolis. I see lots of beacons on the Delta ramp, so it looks like they may be getting close to letting some more of those aircraft go. The A319 has their beacons on. And here's the United Express E175 that's heading to Norfolk. So kind of an unusual routing tonight. Again, I think it's a repositioning flight. I don't think anything diverted in from Norfolk. I could be wrong, though. In the background, I see Aer Lingus taxiing out. Still nothing on the heavies. Public 3310 on their way to Norfolk. Our first United flight to Newark is taxiing out, the Airbus A319. Behind Aer Lingus. Says, just watched a refueling from my binoculars. Pretty cool. Glad you're able to see that. That is Mikey says United holds old airplanes like it's a cargo operator. What does that make Delta then? A20s that are like 35, well, pushing 40 years old now, I think, and their 757s are super old. I guess they make Delta like the Commemorative Air Force or something like that, and they hold on to the vintage aircraft. Robert says, sitting here with my girlfriend, that's the control tower. Seriously, there's another one. Yeah, we have 2 towers here. The one closest to the terminal is the old one. It doesn't get too much use anymore. I think they still have radar up there, but they don't really use it anymore. And the big one that's behind the 2 aircraft on the pad over by the IX Center, that's the main control tower. X-Ray 1000 Yankee Tango says the E6 is flying with the KC-46 now. Oh man. Where are they at? Sorry about that. Where are they at? Let me see where they're at. Have light. The KC-46 is picking up the E6 Mercury. And again, going on the same path, so they should pass over Canton, they should pass over Worcester. Probably be dark by the time they get here, but look up if you can see them. E6 with the KC-46 getting fueled. Mikey heading out. Hope you have a good night. Delta's like USA Jet. There you go. So the Delta 737 behind the A321, that aircraft is heading to New York. One of the diversions. The United A319, I don't think was a diversion. I think it's a regular flight. Shamrock 9 Lima Tango, the Aer Lingus A321 XLR to Dublin heading out. About a 7-hour flight. Really hoping we'd catch to the departing 777 on the stream, but I think it's going to be too dark. Definitely starting to run out of time for that one. Aer Lingus heading out. Looks like United is going to take the runway first. Got a Frontier heading out as well. And on the United side, I see a merger livery 737. I don't know if it's going out or if it's going to the hangar. It might be going to the hangar. Here's the United A319. Flight 1084 on our way to Newark. As United flight heads out, Frontier taking the runway now. Here's the Frontier 321 Neo. Flight 2697 on their way to Phoenix. Frontier heading out, Delta holding short of the runway now. I believe this was a diversion. Flight 751 heading to LaGuardia. So this was a diversion from earlier today. Take a look at the stream here. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Really appreciate your guys' support. Try to see if we get to 100 likes tonight. So if you haven't done so already, hit that like button down below. Thank you all so much for your support. Trying to get to 53,000 subscribers. I know we were really close this afternoon, so I'll take a look at that as well. But thank you guys all so much for your support. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. We'll be down in Dayton for the air show tomorrow. And then try to head back down there on Monday for departure day. Keep an eye on that Omega 707 that's down at Rickenbacker. Hopefully we'll find out when that's going to depart. And the next weekend we'll be in Columbus for the Columbus Air Show. So lots of stuff going on here over the next couple of weeks. Still hoping to go to Baltimore for that air show in a couple of weeks as well. Thunder over Michigan next month, the Lorraine Discover Aviation event that's coming up. Warbirds will be in town in Columbus, or sorry, not Columbus, in Akron. So we'll catch those. Lots of stuff going on. I was like, we're 15 away from 53,000, so I just need 15 more subscribers to hit 53,000 subscribers. Would love to see if we can get there tonight. So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we get to 53,000 subscribers tonight. UPS 1441 pushing back on the UPS ramp. Be heading to Louisville as Endeavor 5559 must be a repositioning flight for Delta Connection. CRJ heading to Huntsville, Alabama. it back over to the 757. I wonder what's up with that. I do wonder the later this goes, if we do start seeing them have to stay the night, as the crew's getting close to timing out. I don't have my scanner on me tonight. I have everything packed up for the show tomorrow. But I do wonder if maybe we're starting to get close to that window. They already fueled these aircraft up a little while ago, so. I do wonder if maybe they will end up spending the night. I do see it looks like the logo light is on the 777 or the 757. I just see the wingtip lights on the 777. I'm starting to wonder if we'll see either one of those aircraft leave tonight. I know we are starting to run out of time with our light. Audrey says the Glowmaster is with the KC now, and an E6B heading west. It's like the E6 should be hooked up with the KC-46, about to pass over Canton. So if you're down in Canton, run outside really quick, you should see a pretty neat aerial refueling tonight with the KC-46 and the E6 Mercury. Daniel's here tonight. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Starting to lose the light, so starting to lose the camera, unfortunately. So may as well have to wrap it up here pretty soon. I see the logo lights on the 757, but no beacons or anything like that, so not sure if either one is heading out soon. Meanwhile, UPS 1441 taxiing out for Louisville, Kentucky. Another 757. Need to find a good camera that can stream at night. UPS 757 taking a runway 1441 to Louisville. It's probably our last aircraft of the night. We are running very quickly out of daylight. our 757 is heading out. Well, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Got to head home and, oh, wait, before we do that, Call Sign Jumbo says, thanks for the content and thanks for promoting Discover Aviation. The Airplane and Auto Show July 11th should be a great show. And thanks for filming my son coming back in December. Well, you're very welcome for your son for catching that flight. And definitely no problem whatsoever promoting Discover Aviation. If you haven't been to that show, it's not a big air show. It's not like Cleveland or Dayton or Columbus or anything like that. It's a small, more like a fly-in, but they get some pretty neat aircraft. The Michigan Flight Museum will bring their warbirds down. The Liberty Aviation Museum will bring over their tri-motor. Sometimes there's B-25 as well, but they'll bring their tri-motor. I think the Air Heritage Museum over in Pennsylvania brings some of their aircraft. So you see a lot of vintage aircraft. You'll see a lot of general aviation aircraft flying around. The State Highway Patrol usually brings one of their airplanes, which is always neat to see. I see like some of those like gyrocopters that people bring in, which are kind of neat to see. But I think the Pink Jet, the Breast Cancer Awareness L39 is supposed to be there this year, which that'll be a really cool catch. But just a great event to go out and walk around and see some airplanes, talk to some pilots, walk through some warbirds, which is always a good time. It's not that much to get in either. It's only a few bucks to get in. Usually have a car show as well, so you can check out some classic cars, which is something I always enjoy doing. Usually a lot of food trucks and food stands and stuff like that around. Usually some people selling some stuff as well. So really cool event to check out. It's in Lorain on July 11th. It's like a small, low-key, more like a fly-in, but a great event. So hope you guys, if you're in the area, go check that out. I think you'll really like that event. And you'll see some airplanes flying around, doing touch and goes, the warbirds flying around. Always a good time out there. So yeah, definitely no problem promoting that event. And hope everyone goes out and checks it out. It's a great show they put on out at the Lorain County Airport. So hope to see you guys all out there. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. We're gonna head on home. Got to get some food. I haven't had dinner yet, so we're gonna go home, get some dinner, get everything packed up that needs to be packed up, and get ready to wake up at about 5:30 in the morning and drive to Dayton tomorrow for the Dayton Air Show. So looking forward to that. If you'll be down in Dayton tomorrow, maybe we'll run into you. Hope you have a great time down there. Make sure you stay hydrated, stay safe, and a lot of great flying action. It sounds like the F-16s may fly after all. I saw they flew in today. So that might be a nice treat. But we got the Raptor, we got the Blue Angels, Tora, the DC-3, T-33 down there. A lot of really cool stuff. The MiGs will be down there. So a lot of really cool stuff. And they're still teasing some sort of surprise may come in. So don't know what that's going to be, but hopefully it's something pretty neat. So we'll be down in Dayton tomorrow for that. Probably head back down Monday morning for departures. See how things go with that. I'll have to work too, but we'll find some time to go down there Monday morning. Next weekend, Friday, we'll be down in Columbus for the Columbus Air Show. May go back Sunday. We'll see how things go, but definitely be down there on Friday for the Columbus Air Show. Looking forward to seeing the Thunderbirds and the Canadian Snowbirds in their final year flying the Tudors. So looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully we'll see the F4 in Columbus. We'll see how things go. But lots of warbirds down there, so that should be a nice event. The following weekend at Akron-Canton, the Commemorative Air Force is bringing in their B-17, B-25 as well. So we'll see Sentimental Journey, one of the last B-17s still flying at the Akron-Canton Airport over by Maps Air Museum in a couple of weeks. We have Thunder over Michigan next month, so that should be a really good time with the Canadian or the British Red Arrows. Hoping to go to Baltimore as well to see the French team. So lots of stuff going on over the next few weeks. Then of course tickets went on sale yesterday if you missed it for the Cleveland National Air Show. So if you want to go to Cleveland, highly recommend go to Cleveland this year. Don't know if it'll be the last one. Don't know what the future is. So I would try to make it out to Cleveland this year if you have the chance. Go check out that show. The Blue Angels and F-22 Raptor will be there. I did see tickets went up a little bit this year price-wise, so it's kind of something to keep in mind. But get your tickets for the Cleveland Air Show if you haven't got them already. That's Labor Day weekend in downtown, so looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Lots of stuff going on over the next few weeks. Hopefully we'll get some more diversions and some more neat aircraft coming in as well. I'll probably do a live stream up in Detroit as well here in a couple of weeks. We'll see how things go. Do a makeup stream up there since we had the really lousy weather. We were down there about a month ago. Or up there about a month ago. And then I do promise to do one in Columbus as well at some point. But yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to. So hope to see you guys there. We may live stream again on Sunday night depending on how things go. I know there's a pilot coming in on the FedEx 767 that I want to try to film, so may try to come up here and get that on Sunday night. So yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to over the next few weeks. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot. If you've been here since the beginning, thank you for your support. And if you're new, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the channel. Check out some of the other videos as well. So if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. If you really like it, hit that subscribe button. Try to get to 53,000. I think, which is an unbelievable number that I can't believe we're talking about. But thank you so much for your support for that. And lots of great stuff going on over the next few weeks. Follow me on Instagram at NickFliesMedia. If we find out anything else is coming in, I'll make sure to post it on there for you. Got some pictures and video on there as well. I got the 100th anniversary A321 that diverted in last night. I put that on there for you. We'll get all that edited for YouTube here as well. But thank you guys so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you at one of the air shows here over the next few weeks. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you next time from Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Have a great night, everyone.